Hi everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope everybody's doing well out there. I'm doing well. I just realized this morning though I'm really getting bored with this little town that I'm in. But you do what you got to do, huh? The thing is, I just don't have a life here. See, that's the thing. It's not so much, it's not a terrible place. It's just I don't have anything going on here. So maybe I'm just going to double down on the gym, working out, exercising. We'll see. Anyhow, that's not what we're here to talk about today. I want to talk about essentials for a raw food diet. Some of the basic essentials for a raw food diet. I do videos every day, so if you are not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now, please. And then click on the little bell and check send notifications, because YouTube has this little habit of unsubscribing people. So what are the essentials? The essentials. Okay, before I even start, if we're going to be quite literal here, there's really no essentials. If you can peel a piece of fruit, if you can chew, if you can get the food to your mouth, that's basically it. You could, theoretically, if we lived in Eden, you could just pick the fruit and off the tree and pull the greens from the ground and just eat them. But most of us are not going to live that way. So what are some of the things that are going to make this raw food diet more feasible for you, and what's going to give you the best chance of being successful at this? Now, I've done this video before. I've done similar videos before, and my thinking has changed over the years. I'll tell you something. There's a different. You can get away. Everybody wants to try to be hardcore, you know, and probably somebody. I think I've had comments before from the super hardcore. You know them. They're in the groups and stuff. They always sitting out there trying to impress you and stuff. They've just gone up another level on raw vegan. You know what I'm talking about. But practically speaking, I'm just going to try to share a few things with you today that I think is going to actually make this lifestyle work for you. Number one thing that I would recommend above everything, and I didn't do this for a number of years, I have to learn things the hard way. I can be lazy, I can be stubborn, and just not get around to it, is have yourself a good knife. A decent knife, and when I say a good knife, you don't have to spend a lot of money. I have this little Farberware knife. And I've had this knife for, actually no, this is the small paring knife. I've got the bigger version of it. I've got both of them. But I've had that other knife for 2 years, 2.5, 3 years now, and it works perfectly. It keeps a good sharp blade. It wasn't expensive. This little paring knife I think was like $8 or $9. I think my bigger knife was maybe $12. And it's lasted me for 3 years, and it's really good and sharp. And that's why, you know, I can skin those mangoes like I do and get so close, because you need a sharp knife. You get frustrated in the kitchen without a sharp knife. So you don't have to invest, but make sure you've got some sort of a decent knife in your kitchen. Another thing that I held off on for a while, and once again, not necessary, I'm playing with the words here. I said essential, but once again, I'm talking about what I consider is essential for people to actually thrive and succeed on this lifestyle. Because there's a lot of people talking about this, about the raw food diet. There's a lot of people talking about the best version of doing this diet. But have you noticed there's very few people actually like being successful? All you hear every day is the failures or striving to get there. So maybe that super strict or not needing anything or hardcore way just isn't the way to go. So some of these things that I've found real beneficial for me. This little toy right here, I had this toy, well, this is the second one that I've had, but yeah, I heard everybody talking about, you got to have something to make zoodles, koodles, vegetable noodles of some sort. Okay, you don't literally have to, but everybody likes eating this. Now you can get, I've seen big versions that you put on your countertop, and they cost a lot of money and what have you. This little bad boy I think I bought for about $10 or $12, and it works just fine. You have the side for the bigger ones, you have the side for the smaller ones. I like to do the smaller ones. I always feel like I'm eating angel hair pasta when I do the smaller ones, but that's going to help you. Now on to the big one. You need a blender. You need a blender. Can you get by with a cheapo blender? Oh yeah, you can get by with a cheapo blender. I think I had a $35 Oster blender for the first 2 years that I did this lifestyle. But I'll tell you something, I was a little bit stubborn on the blender. Oh, and one thing I will say right now, that I don't do, is juicer. A juicer, I would say for me, is the last thing that comes on the list, because I jumped in right early in the game before I had anything else. I was into juicing in the very beginning, and I bought an Omega juicer for $230. Now, am I sorry that I bought it? No. I did a fair amount of juicing with it, but then juicing just wasn't practical for me day to day. It didn't have any calories to it. And then it turned into kind of like an ice cream machine until I had a Vitamix. I used to make my ice cream through my Omega. It has a setting, you put it through there. But I would say juice, put it several rungs down the line if money's an issue or what have you. The Vitamix, and a lot of people argue with this, and I was so stubborn for so long with the Vitamix. I was like, yeah, you don't need, come on, that's an expensive machine, and it can be expensive. And when people talk about how expensive it is and talk about why they can't have it, you ever notice they do like to, they bring out the top price, like, I can't spend $600, $700 on a machine. Well, there's workarounds to that. You can get refurbished. I know there's a lot of good units out there, Vitamix refurbished units in the $300 range, $350 range. The Vitamix, okay, yes, it's not an essential, but it's like certain things I almost think are essential in the sense of once I had them, and like I say, you know how I love my textures. The Vitamix just does most of the things I do so much better than any machine did before. My smoothies, I love the texture of my smoothies with the Vitamix as compared to other ones. Yeah, you're not supposed to blend stuff too much, blah, 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 oxidation, blah, blah, blah. There you go, Poindexter, already got your speech. Everything, though, is just a little bit creamier, a little bit more like I want it when I make it in the Vitamix from my green soup, my soups. Oh, the soups come out so much better, so much smoother in the Vitamix. Like I already said, my smoothies. Oh, the nice cream. I've become like the nice cream king. I can work that tamper, and I use really frozen bananas. I don't use any liquid. Y'all saw the video I did last week. And I can get that stuff. You will not get your nice cream as creamy in anything as you will with the Vitamix. Now I tell you, it's a different sort of version. When you do it through the Omega, it's almost like the ice cream you scoop. It's a little bit harder, but it's good like that too. And hey, Yonanas, I was talking to somebody about a Yonana yesterday. I see they come out good, but I can't imagine any texture of ice cream coming out as well as it does with the Vitamix. And it's just so versatile. And you know, hey, listen, somebody, if you absolutely can't afford one, you can't afford one. There's priorities in life, you know. I got to feed my kids, or I got to go buy an expensive machine. Well, of course you're going to feed your kids, but a lot of times, you know, if there's a will, there's a way. If there's a will, there's a way. Why don't you flip stuff? Is anybody, you know, I watch a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk, and he talks about it in other contexts when people are talking about, well, I don't have the money, I don't have the money. What are you doing this weekend? Flip something. Everybody's flipping stuff now. Go to a garage sale. Go to a garage sale. Go to a thrift store. Pick up deals. Resell them on Facebook Marketplace. Go to here's one he always throws out there. Go to Craigslist. On Craigslist, in every city, there's a free section, and people give away stuff that has value to it. Go to that free section. Go pick up, you know, go through there, see what you can get. Go pick up some of that stuff. Sell that stuff in your marketplace. People do that all the time. They get free stuff off of Craigslist, and they sell it on Facebook in like the Facebook Marketplace for their local town. Bing, bang, boom. Coincidentally, that's something, you know, if you remember, if you've been watching me for a while, I wanted to kind of get into. I've talked about getting into here when I was back in Costa Rica, but and I might still, you know, at some point, depending on how long I'm here, I'll have to get another car, and you know, but right now it's just not feasible because you know, it just takes a lot of gas for me to go back and forth to Pensacola. But you can do it. You can get that stuff done. Get yourself a refurbished Vitamix, even if you got to hustle, scramble. Okay, if that's not for you, everybody generally. And when I say everybody, there's going to be the person out there. I know that you're an exception and you just can't. You ain't got no corners to cut. You ain't got no money to get to. So in that situation, God bless you. You do the best you can. And no, you know, there's nothing wrong with, you know, with operating with a little cheap blender. Now there's in between. If you absolutely can't figure out a way, you know, where you get the Vitamix. And the only reason I'm saying the Vitamix is it is kind of like the centerpiece. You know, it's like the one thing that I use. I don't have a lot of stuff, so I don't have to justify having an expensive kitchen tool. I see all these people, oh, well, this is expensive and that's expensive. You just live an expensive lifestyle here in North America. I mean, some people have so much stuff in their house. I said you could walk around your house and scare up enough stuff to get yourself one. But yeah, for me, it's a no-brainer. Now that I've had one, and that spoils you, don't get one because you will not be able to not have one again. If mine broke today, boom. Well, it's under warranty, but if it wasn't, boom. I'd have to take that money. I'd have to get a new Vitamix almost immediately. There are steps in between, and there's some decent machines in between. I've had a NutriBullet. NutriBullet is a great machine. NutriBullet might be something to really, really, really think about, and I would almost say have yourself a NutriBullet, even if you have a Vitamix, if it's feasible, if you can afford it, because it's got a lot of power to it, and it's so small you can take it on the road with you. The longer I'm here, I'm starting to look. I'm thinking I'm going to pick up another NutriBullet here. Ninja's a decent machine. It's got the power. It's got basically the horsepower of a Vitamix. It doesn't chop quite the same, but in the end, nothing is really essential. So the title of the video was kind of a misnomer. Nothing's actually essential other than the fruits and the vegetables. But if we're being realistic, you know, you're not going to wander around the jungle or the forest just eating off of trees. So you want your experience to be nice. You've got other stuff in your kitchen. Come on. Let's say before you even knew about this lifestyle and you were eating the worst of the worst standard American diet, you ate just like everybody ate. You got nothing in your kitchen. You got you just got a basic stove with a couple of pots on there. You spent money back then. You can spend a little bit of money now that you're, you know, that you're focusing on your health. You're probably saving some money because you're focusing on your health. But anyhow, just my 2 cents worth. But always we'll finish with that. Go get yourself a good knife. A good sharp knife will make your kitchen experience a whole lot better. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Peace.